Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a modern mansion. The modern mansion features an outdoor swimming pool, a lounging area, a garden. On the inside we have a nice modern kitchen and adjoining dining room. Upstairs we have a living room with a rather impressive looking fish tank with no fish in it. We also have a modern bathroom. And finally, a modern bedroom. This is the amount of space required to make your house. Feel free to build this grid in your world if you do feel as though it will help you out. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. Step 1. If you have made the grid, come all the way over to the back left hand corner of it. From the corner block, extend right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then inwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to start by placing 6 light grey concrete on top of each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then extend to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend backwards by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extend across and join back to where you first started. So we'll end up with a shape that should look like this. If you like, you can extend the corners of the shape down to the ground, and this will give you a bit of a better understanding of what we are working with. And once we have our light grey concrete rectangle-ish sort of shape, we want to grab our smooth quartz block, come all the way up to the top left hand corner of the grey concrete rectangle, and extend it forwards by 15 using smooth quartz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then extend left by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then extend backwards by 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And then simply extend across, and you should just connect to the light grey concrete rectangle. So, this shape in particular is going to be part of our living space. It is going to house a kitchen. We want to extend the corner block here, the 15th block, down by 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to extend it all the way back to the light grey concrete rectangle. We want to extend the block across at the front and join it upwards to the top corner. We also want to extend the row backwards, and we will want to connect it across in the same way that we did the top. As a matter of fact, you can even, if you like, join the entire left side of the smooth quartz area. You can join it top to bottom as you can the back, as these are going to include some windows, but this is something that we will talk more about when we start to do the inside of the build. So just seal up the back and left side. On the front here, we are going to have a small window. It's going to be made using 2 rows of glass on the right side of the front of the shape, and then we're going to fill the remainder in using smooth quartz, just like this. The entire side of the shape here is mostly glass, except there is a 2 block wide entrance all the way here on the right. We then want a vertical row of quartz, and then a horizontal at the top, just leaving enough room for the entrance. You can choose to not glass this area if you like. If you don't want to fill this area in with glass, you can kind of leave it open, which I like, by the way. But it's kind of a personal choice. Leave it open or fill it with glass. It's one of the two. Or something else. It's up to you, actually. But they're my two recommendations. The next thing that we're going to do is work on the upper part of the house, and honestly, it might be an idea at this point in time to also fill in the light grey concrete shape that we have. So you'll notice that I'm not filling the entire thing in. We don't actually have to fill in the bottom 2 rows of the light grey concrete rectangle, or at least for the most part. You can just leave 1 row off of the ground if you like. In one particular circumstance, the inside of the light grey concrete shape, the area over there, we will actually be able to see all the way down to the bottom of it, so we should probably fill this in. But the rest of it you can actually leave a couple of rows if you're feeling a bit lazy, just like I am. So the next thing that we're going to do is grab the smooth quartz block. So we want to place a smooth quartz block in a specific position. It is here. So this is basically on top of the very first smooth quartz that we ever placed. It's just directly on top of it. Okay, we then want to extend this smooth quartz block to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're just overhanging the light grey. Extend up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left by 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then we want to extend it down and back on itself. So I've just extended the bottom across a bit, and it just makes it a little bit easier to track it, I think. The inside of the shape is going to be majoritively glass, but with a little bit of grey concrete. So this left side here, I'm going to add an additional row of smooth quartz inside of it, with then a row of grey concrete inside of that. We're then going to extend the grey concrete across towards the end, and then extend the 2 end grey concretes upwards like this. So this is the shape that we'll end up having. We can fill this in using good old glass block like this. So this is going to look pretty good. And of course, do feel free to chop and change things as you see fit. So this is an important part of the build because we, from this point, want to take the bottom block here and we want to extend it right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we want to extend up and across. We're going to fill these rows in here using smooth quartz stairs, just like so. And that looks perfect. So the next thing that we're going to do is take the bottom row here of the smooth quartz block and we want to extend it to the right by 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're then going to extend backwards by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we have got to extend it all the way across. So, all the way across, and we want to connect it, give it a moment here, all the way back to here. So, just like that. And now it would probably be a good idea to fill the floor in. So the second floor of this build is basically made by connecting the bottom row of smooth quartz together, just front to back, like this. Easy peasy. Now, with this building, it is now a lot easier for us to complete the upper half of the build. So we're going to grab grey concrete, or actually, it might be a bit easier to grab the smooth quartz block, and we want to mirror what we have down below using the smooth quartz. So what I mean by that is we take the top right hand corner of this weird shape that we have made in the center of the second story of the build, and we want to extend it across using the smooth quartz block, and we want to extend it back all the way across the back of the build. So we are copying the shape that we have down below, and we are going to connect it all the way forwards as well. So you will see that once that has been completed, we will be left with another rather large rectangle. And what do you think we're going to do next? That's right. Now that that has been filled in using smooth quartz, we can easier work on the details. So, that sentence made sense, right? We can easier work on the details? It sounds kind of like Old English, I like it. So anyway, we want to grab grey concrete and we want to come once again towards the center area here. We're going to start by placing 2 rows of grey concrete behind and to the right of this kind of ladder shape. I don't even know what to call it, but it looks cool. We then want to take the bottom of the grey concrete and we want to extend it all the way to the right, and we want to extend it back. The goal is to make sure that the grey concrete sits 1 row inside of the smooth quartz at all times. We will then extend it across the back, and we will mirror the shape that we have on the front onto the back using grey concrete. So literally copy exactly what you have on the front onto the back, extend it across in the same manner and up in the same manner like this, and everything will work out rather nicely. We want to make that same majestic shape on the back as we have the front, so that's just a couple of rows of smooth quartz inside yet also outside of the grey concrete, and we just want to stack some smooth quartz stairs. All we then have to do is fill the entire area in with glass, so essentially just connecting the grey concrete upwards using glass block. Notice that I've not used any coloured glass for the actual house itself. I thought that it'd be quite nice just to go with something plain. I typically almost always use blue and some occasions black for these builds, but I'm really enjoying just kind of a good old plain glass and block as well. I'm not really trying to create much sense of depth with this build. I think it kind of has enough of it already. We're going for a sort of simple vibe. On the left side of the build, which I have forgotten, we want to connect the smooth quartz upwards. So we just want to have an entire wall of smooth quartz just over here on the left side. And once all of that has been done, we will be left with quite an impressive looking part of the build actually. There we go. So the next thing that we have to do is we just have to work on the lower part of the build a little bit. So we're going to give the lower part of the build a roof. This is going to be made out of smooth quartz slab and it's going to sit directly on top. So a cool thing about using smooth quartz slab is it will look as though the upper half of the build is more integrated into the lower half of the build, because instead of having a clear separation of just one solid block between the upper and lower half, the slab kind of makes it meld in a little bit more. So it's a very simple touch, but a nice one, I think. So we'll just fill all of this in using these smooth quartz slabs, which will give us this shape, which is once again looking quite impressive. So now that we have done that, something that I would also like to do is floor the lower level. So what I mean by that is I want to use oak planks and I want to join the bottom row of smooth quartz together. This is the row just underneath the glass. The reason that I want to do this at this point in time is I want to illustrate where the floor level actually is, because we're floating off of the ground a little bit. So I thought it might be a nice idea to actually like show you guys that there is like an actual level floor. And speaking of levels and connecting floors together, it might be an idea to actually also implement some stairs. So the stairs inside of the house are going to be in this back left corner. We're going to build smooth quartz stairs into the actual like second level, so we'll just have one block. And then we just want to have just a set of smooth quartz stairs that runs all the way down here. We probably, yep, that should be enough blocks to get up and down. And we'll fill underneath the stairs in using smooth quartz, just to make them look a little bit tidier. It's also worth mentioning that the bathroom is going to stem from these two grey concretes here. So here and here. So the bathrooms are actually quite big. We can even shave... No, we can't. My bad. So, I was wrong about that. So, the bathroom is actually quite big, and we are going to make two walls. So, these two walls are going to stem from the outer grey concretes. That is going to leave us one row on the end as a hallway. So, this is going to act as a hallway. And we might even fill this in using grey concrete, but the bathroom is we are going to add an extra row of grey concrete here. So we're not going to just fill the end in, we're going to extend a row of grey concrete inwards, and then this is going to be the doorway. So that actually leaves us, by the way, I think that we will leave this. We could even turn it into a window, but I don't think that I'm going to. I might even place some bookshelves or something here, but this is the bedroom. That's going to be the bathroom, and this is going to be kind of like a really cool living room. And this will be the dining room, and this will also be the kitchen. And that's kind of how the house separates nicely into quite simple rooms, actually. They're not too complicated, which is what I like about them. So, we have hit this point, ladies and gentlemen. So, the next room we're going to work on is the outside of the house. Grab the oak planks and come all the way to this particular block right here. This is the bottom corner of the doorway. Place 1, 2, 3 oak planks extending outwards, and then a smooth quartz block in front. We then want to join the smooth quartz block down to the ground and extend forwards by 13. Or, actually, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The 13 measurement is 13 long in total. So we extend it forwards by 12 to in total give us 13. We should overhang the front of the build by 1. We want to extend the top of the area to the right by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we want to match the length that we have on the opposite side. What we're making is a pool. So we want to place the smooth quartz blocks. We want to then place smooth quartz slab on top of this. And this will give us a pretty good frame for a pool. We then want to grab light grey concrete, and we want to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of light grey concrete, extending from the top down like this. You can just literally place them on the ground. We then want to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of light grey concrete built into the ground now. So we're just going to dig these out, and then we will place them. We're also going to be grabbing some sea lanterns in just a moment. We'll probably have to rearrange the entire inventory, to be quite honest. So here, on the end of this, we're going to dig an additional row and place grey concrete. Now we're going to grab, let's take a look here. We'll probably have to re-grab materials as we need it, but some light blue glass, sea lanterns. To finish off, we'll 100% need oak planks and oak stairs. We need light grey as well. We're going to be using that as kind of like a boundary. We'll be needing leaves. We need the red carpet and the white carpet, and we'll just leave that for now. So, on top of the grey concrete area, we're going to stack 2 rows of light blue glass block. That's the first time we've used it in the build. We're going to light the center of the pool. So we have rows of 5. The very middle block we want to replace using sea lanterns. So, on the end of the left side of the pool, we are going to stack 2 rows of oak planks. Extend them forwards, and then across to the boundary, and then backwards, like this. So that's all there is to it. So this will actually... It's kind of up to you whether you want the house to sit on oak planks, or if you want the house to sit on... Like, if you want it to look as though the house extends all the way down to the ground. But I am just going to, at this point in time, just extend the quartz down, like this. Like so. And then it won't matter for this back bit, you'll understand why in a second. But we have an oak plank decking kind of surrounding the majority of the house. And it is 2 rows high, so it does come all the way up to the... Hence why I wanted to... What am I doing? Why am I filling the bottom row in? So sometimes you just find yourself doing something and you're like, what? So that is why I wanted to make the interior floor for the house to show that like we can just walk in and out rather easily. So the next thing that we want to do, now that we've kind of like tackled the left side of the pool, is we have to shape this decking a bit. So we take the right side of the pool, we stack 2 rows of oak planks, we extend them 1 row forwards and then 7 rows right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Add an additional row on top. And then extend the oak planks forwards by 2 rows, so that's 1, 2. We're then going to extend to the right by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is kind of like where the oak planks end, sort of. So we'll have a set of stairs here where we have these 2 sticky out oak planks. We'll have a set of stairs extending down to the ground here. We want to have a light grey concrete wall. This is 3 rows high. It starts on the corner here. You can extend it in a little bit if you like. Maybe you could extend it in towards these stairs. So like where the stairs start might be like a good idea to have it. Or not, it's up to you. I'll let you kind of figure that out for yourself. But the point is that the light grey concrete wants to extend backwards. It wants to extend backwards, and then it wants to extend across, and it's sitting directly on top of the grid line, and it does want to join to the... Oh, and we'll also have to just fill that in. I don't know what I was talking about earlier, saying that the light grey concrete shouldn't be extended all the way down to the ground. I was obviously having a mad moment, but we want to place 3 rows of light grey concrete to form a wall, and we just want to extend it back across. It will join to kind of like the light grey rectangle centerpiece, and this will also give us a shape to work with. So this is what we should have at the moment, and it's looking pretty good, I think. The next big project for us is going to be to fill in the remaining area using oak planks, which is exactly what you're going to see me doing now. There we go, that is absolutely perfect. So, this particular area has to have some detail added to it, and not too much. So we're going to have a couple of just lounging beds next to the pool. This is made using red carpet and white carpet, and this basically begins from here, where we have the glass move 1 row backwards, and then leave a gap of 1 on the oak planks. Place 2 red carpets extending back with then a white carpet. Leave a gap of 2, repeat the process, gap of 2, repeat the process, gap of 2, repeat the process, and then that's it. We want to have 4 in total. So it'll end up looking like this. Nice, simple, good looking decoration. Adds a bit of colour to the build. In addition to this, we want to have a row of leaves. So this is like a big bushy hedge. We want to leave a gap of 1 between the, I'll call them the sunbeds, and we want to leave a gap of 1. The leaves want to be 1 row longer than the sunbed area, and it wants to be 5 rows wide. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we can just simply place it. If you've got a better idea of what to put here, feel free to add it. Once again, I'm kind of going with the simplistic design. So there we go. That's looking pretty good. The next thing that I want to do is I want to make a, well, it's not exactly a farm, but it is just like a patch of farmland, because I just think it works quite kind of well. I just sort of like it. So we're going to come all the way over to the corner of the build here. We're going to leave a gap of 1, 2 diagonally, and then we're going to dig 1, or maybe we'll make it, yeah, okay, so we'll dig 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. So probably 5 rows wide. I'm trying to line it up with the light grey concrete. I think that that's pretty good. And then we're going to extend it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this area, the way that I've made this is it's 1 row longer. Actually, it should be 2 rows longer. It wants to be 2 rows longer than the leaves that we have on either side, and it is 2 rows shorter than the light grey concrete column that we have over there. And I've just figured out what to call that thing. It's a column. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw some grass down here so that we are able to actually cultivate some form of life, if plants are indeed living, which I believe they are. Are they alive technically? Sort of. Anyway, so the next thing, you know, I feel sorry for you guys that come here to learn. Are plants alive? So the next thing that we're going to do is place a sea lantern just directly in the center, and if you like you can space these out a little bit, and we're going to just hoe out this area. And I'm using beetroot because I like the color of it, but carrots are also kind of cool. I also like the berries as well. I can't remember what they're called at this moment in time, but the cool looking berries, they also look good, but they're a little bit tall. So are they called sweet berries? I might have made that up. I'm going to have to find out now that I've raised that. Yeah, the sweet berry bushes look quite cool as well, but we'll just leave that to grow and it will do it in its own time. So, all the way over here, next to the light grey column, we want to have kind of like it's kind of like a pit area. It's kind of like a seated pit area, and it's quite cool. We're going to grab oak leaves. We need smooth quartz blocks, smooth quartz slabs. We need blackstone stairs, polished blackstone slabs, scaffolding, campfire, and lanterns, and also flower pots. That might be it, but that might also not be it. So I want to place leaves in such a way that they are they are long, and they are 1 row away from the edge of the light grey concrete area. So it just sits nicely inside of the column. We want to dig in front of these leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want to dig a row of 5, and we're also going to have to actually, we're going to have to do some, hang on, so we want to extend these leaves down, and then we're going to have to place some oak planks underneath this, because we want to actually be able to like walk around this. It doesn't want to be too deep. I only want it to be 1 row lower, so we just have to add the planks to this. And from also, I think that we will, how will we have this? So we could just sit this against the wall. Like we could have smooth quartz slabs sat directly against this wall and on top of kind of like this little pit area. And then we can have oak stairs just on these 2 end blocks like this. We should also dig underneath these smooth quartz slabs and replace it using smooth quartz like so. And we also, I want to have campfires, so these are actually going to, I'm going to dig into the ground once again, and I'll replace the ground using, I might use blackstone actually. I might make some actual blackstone blocks using the slabs, and then maybe just 1 row of, or do we want 2 rows of campfires just to create the fire? And we could actually, and then on the ends of this, I think that we could either use polished blackstone stairs, or we could use slabs. Maybe we'll go with the stairs like this. I think that looks quite nice. The middle 3 blocks we will replace, on the ends we'll just have some scaffolding as a table. And then we'll place polished blackstone stairs across the end here where we have the smooth quartz block. And then we'll flare the end out using a slab, lantern, a couple of flower pots like this, and then that will look pretty cool, I think. And that looks pretty nice. It's kind of highlighted by the fact that we have the campfire and it's quite light. So I'm quite happy with that. I like how that looks. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill the pool with water, and then that will kind of like conclude the outside part of the tutorial and the structure part of this tutorial, which we've made. All I have to do is decorate it from this point onwards. And by the way, I kind of want the pool to be like a waterfall sort of effect. So I want the top to kind of like flow into the bottom. So I quite like that. I think that looks pretty cool. If you want to make it easier to get in and out of the pool, you can also destroy a couple of these blocks, although I'm not going to because I find it quite, I find it easy enough. So at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we've made the entire structure. and we've made the entire outside of the build. So I am going to show you a nice little time lapse of me decorating the inside. So this is going to be 100% up to you how you do want to decorate the inside of your build, but if you want a couple of pointers, you want a little bit of inspiration, then this next part is for you. The first thing that I'm going to do in regards to the inside is I am going to drop the ceiling level on the first floor from a height of 4 to 3. I really like ceiling heights of about 3 because it seems to be a nice happy medium between just high enough and not too low. Like, it's just a perfect height in my opinion. After I've done this, I am going to begin work on the actual kitchen itself. So that includes a fridge freezer, some counter space. I'm installing a window, as you can see now, and I'm trying to add some little details as I go. So we have a coffee machine, a mug rest, we have some cabinets in the form of light grey concrete with buttons, we have a sink / draining board area with the cauldron, the stairs, the lever, the drip wire hook. I'm also using a lot of parts and saplings for decoration. I've really started to enjoy these as decorative objects. I'm also placing a little bookcase next to the kitchen area. I have a little island unit and a breakfast bar. The island unit is housing the different cooking implements, the blast furnaces and the furnaces. And on top of these, to kind of decorate them further, I've decided to, not only am I placing parts and saplings on the counter space, but the actual cookers themselves, rails and iron trap doors. We have books on the counter space, as you can see, which kind of fits in with the little library section. We have a dining room table on the opposite side of the room, which would make sense with the kitchen. I'm opening up the area with a window, and I'm deciding that this particular part in particular would benefit from a bit of a higher ceiling. So in some circumstances it does work, but in others I like to keep it a little bit lower, and variation is also key. Above the table, you can see me struggling to find the right painting. I'm in particular looking for that one, which I'm hanging lights next to, decorating the table with pots, and then putting chairs around the table. That's downstairs done. Upstairs, we are going to have a couple of things, but this half of the, or I should say, third of the upstairs is going to house a sofa, a coffee table, a TV unit, and a TV, all of which you can see right there. A floor lamp in the form of end rods and glazed terracotta, and also a rather large fish tank. Fish tanks are one of my favourite decorations, and I just really do love them. I also include the exact same little Easter egg in every single one, which is of course SpongeBob's house, in the form of a honeycomb and also a seagrass on top, which you'll see. I thought that you could actually rejuvenate coral with the use of water. That's why I placed them first, but I was clearly wrong, so I had to destroy all of the coral and replace them, but that's perfectly fine. So with a mixture of turtle eggs, seagrass, honeycomb, kelp, different corals, sea pickles are one of my favorites, we have made a pretty nice looking fish tank. And of course, the only thing that we are missing is fish, which I never actually place in this tutorial. Huh. It's not a very good fish tank without fish, is it? On the opposite side of the house, we have the bedroom. This is very simple. We have a double bed, and we have quartz slabs built up into a sort of modern abstract pattern, lanterns, saplings placed on top. A simple rug made out of a mishmash of light grey and white carpets, and also grey carpet as well. And we also have a little wardrobe section, kind of modern looking in design, with simply end rods to kind of look like actual like clothes rails, with banners to look like clothes, and a couple of armor stands to look like empty, well, actual like clothes hangers of sorts. For the bathroom, we have a set of units at the back middle part of the room, and a little cauldron for a sink, and we just have like cabinets in the form of light grey concrete and stone buttons, and just a bunch of shelves with saplings. I'm really going heavy on the saplings. I love them. They really do seem to just brighten up a build. In front of this, the abstract grey and white carpet, as we have placed in a couple of other places. Maybe only 2 actually, but regardless, we have a skylight as well to provide light for this room. We're lowering the base of the shower using slabs, glass pane on the side as just kind of like a screen, end rod, trapdoor, lever, boom, you've got an easy shower. On the opposite side of the room, we're involving a little bit more green, as well as putting a door on the bathroom. It only makes sense. The only place there is a door, the bathroom. And we also have a couple of end rods with some banners, just as kind of like a towel rail. And that's it. That is the end of the video, ladies and gentlemen. I really do hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please do subscribe to the channel and click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all of my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you do like the look of the world that I have been building in, I don't know how much of it you have managed to see, Stream City is available to download, Java Edition only, for all of my channel members. If you are a channel member and you're unaware of this, or if you would like to become one for this perk, channel members are provided a brand new fresh download link for Stream City every single time it is updated. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.